The one area for the Pittsburgh Steelers in which they got a massive upgrade at, which no one is really talking about, is special teams, with the return of Calvin Austin to the offense and special teams this season. I know many want to talk about how the Steelers' offense got better at tight end, at wide receiver, offensive line, adding new pieces, but Calvin Austin, he was drafted last season in the 4th round, not only to bring a spark and bring the speed aspect to the offense, but also to be a contributor to the special teams. Obviously, he's coming off a foot injury that prevented him from seeing the field in his rookie season, but with Austin now being healthy and a full go in OTAs and practices, he can help the team in both aspects, offense and special teams. And Austin, in an interview done in the week after practice, he was talking about special teams and was asked questions about it. And he said this, here's his quote: "I'm open for whatever in the special teams world, even if that's me being the gunner, whether that's the punt return, kick return, I'm confident in both." But with Austin, he doesn't really have that much experience as a kick returner off kickoffs. He was more of a punt returner in college, but he's willing to learn it and be good at it. And he also refers to himself as a playmaker. And we all know when playmakers get the ball in their hands, that's a good thing to set up the offense. You kind of want the guy to be a kick returner who's going to be dynamic. And that's what Austin brings to the table. He brings speed and a really different type of speed. Runs a 4.32, and you could argue he's even faster than that. So Austin also had this to say. Here's a quote: "I feel like if you're a playmaker and you have the ball in your hands, you can do whatever. Punt is the harder one, and I did that all the way since high school. I have great confidence in catching and tracking the ball. Kick return is an easier catch and a different way of how you read running lanes and all that. But I pride myself on knowing all of it. And football is all about learning. If I have to kick return, I will prepare and be confident for that." As of right now, we really don't know if Calvin Austin is going to be the kickoff returner, if he's going to be the punt returner. Just going based off last season, the Steelers still have Gunnar Olszewski on the team, a guy who was the kickoff returner and punt returner early in the season before moving it off to Steven Sims when he wasn't really doing as well. So the Steelers still have Anthony McFarland Jr. on the team. He was really the emergency kickoff returner and punt returner, but he was on the practice squad for most of the season. So really, it's up in the air, and Calvin Austin will have a competition with those other guys to see who will get the job done. The only reason why I'm even talking about special teams is because the last few seasons, it's really been a problem for the Steelers. They really haven't had a guy who's really explosive in both the kickoff return and punt return, and I believe Calvin Austin could change that. Last season, the Steelers' return game didn't have a lot of stability, and that was mainly because of the ball security issues there. Wide receiver, like I said, Gunnar Olszewski, he opened the season as a primary returner for the Steelers, but around halfway through the season, or even a little bit less than halfway through the season, wide receiver Steven Sims kind of took over. And when he took over, he had some explosive plays, and he did a really good job his first couple of games. I remember at one point, whenever he got the ball in his hands for a kickoff or punt return, you would think that he was taking it back to the house. But he never did. Even though he had explosive plays his first few games, after those first few games, the pressure started catching up, and he started having these muffled punts as well, muffled kickoffs, and that explosiveness that he had in his first couple of games started to level off, and then he became inconsistent, just as Gunnar Olszewski and the Steelers' kickoff return game has been the last few years. It seems like the Steelers really hadn't had a consistent guy returning punts since Antonio Brown. Yes, Juju Smith-Schuster, he had some time where he got a kickoff return touchdown, but they really haven't had a solid guy, I believe, since Antonio Brown. So, with Calvin Austin returning to the team and apparently being fully healthy, hopefully he's able to be that stability force for the Steelers and really do a good job on special teams and have those explosive plays all year ready to set up the offense and putting the offense in a really good position when the defense holds off and has the punter punt the ball and he gets to be able to return the ball or even kickoffs. The last few years, the Steelers really hadn't been returning that many kickoffs back. They just let go through the end zone or take the fair catch or the knee in the end zone and take it back to the 25-yard line because that's the best best field position they probably believe they would have got. They probably believe they wouldn't have got much if they actually returned it, so they would just get it to 25. But if Calvin Austin is able to be that explosiveness for the Steelers and bring the speed aspect to the Steelers team, hopefully be able to return more kicks, return more punts, and bring it back far to set up the offense. But like I said, while Austin did do some returning in the college level at Memphis, where he went to college, he was limited to punts only. He didn't really do kickoffs. But with punts, he had a total of 29 of them for 323 yards total. And he had 2 touchdowns in his punt return days. In a short time, he entered the NFL without a huge returner resume, but with speed, with him being quick and bringing explosiveness on the field, hopefully with more time there and more coaching up, he's able to bring a different level aspect and really learn the position and really learn the special teams aspect of the game and be really good at it. And like I said, in 2022, overall, the Steelers' return game was not good at all, especially for punts. For the season, the Steelers ranked 30th out of 32 teams in punt return average with only 5.9 yards average, while slightly better on kickoffs. The Steelers were 21.3 yard average, was only good for 24th overall in NFL. So those numbers aren't good, and hopefully Austin, whoever else does the kickoffs, is able to put the Steelers in good position on offense. And I believe this is one area for the Steelers that's getting overlooked a lot, and that's why I want to talk about it. And I know some of you comment down in the comments saying to talk about special teams, so here it is. And also, like I said, the special teams aspect of the game can switch the game in total, because one muffed punt or one muffed kickoff can put your team in such a bad position. If you have a fumble like the Steelers had last year and you fumble the ball on a punt return, they'll put the other offense of the other team in great position to score a touchdown, putting your team behind in points. So one muffed punt, one muffed kickoff, or just a bad kickoff and punt return in general can really change the aspect of the game and can decide if you win or lose the game. So hopefully this year that changes. And now I want to talk about the other aspect of special teams. The special teams aspect of the gunner, like he said, or even just a tackler on special teams. The Steelers lost a lot of guys in this free agency that was really good at the special team aspect of the game. Yes, Derek Watt did not sign with the team yet, and he could still be returning to the Steelers, but he was really good, and the Steelers captain on special teams. He was a really good tackler, and even Miles Killebrew, the Steelers didn't lose him. He's still on the team, but his impact wasn't as big as his first year with the Steelers. His impact last year wasn't as massive as the block punts he had in his first year. And even Benny Snell, we didn't lose him in free agency. He didn't sign with another team, but as of right now, he's not on the team. And he was a really good special teamer as well. So the Pittsburgh Steelers the last few years hasn't been good on either end of special teams. Whether that be tackling, they really haven't been able to guard punts and kickoffs as well as in previous years under their special teams coach. So hopefully this year that's able to change. They signed a guy in free agency by the name of Tanner Moose, and he's a really good tackler and special teamer as well. So hopefully him with Miles Killebrew, they're able to step up and be the need that the Steelers need as special teams to put their defense in a good position. Because like I said, the offense of special teams could put your team in a good position, but even if you let up a big punt or kickoff return, that could put your defense in a bad situation. So both ends of special teams is a big area that the Steelers need to get better at. Both the offensive side of special teams and the defensive side of special teams. So this season, the Steelers special teams, hopefully they're able to have a big upgrade in the return game with Calvin Austin being the guy, and even bringing in new guys, even though they lost a lot on the defensive side of special teams. So with that being said, let me know down in the comments below. How do you feel about this area of the Pittsburgh Steelers special teams? And how do you feel about Calvin Austin being the punt returner and kick returner that I hope he could be for the special teams unit? Do you believe he could be the guy and be the next Antonio Brown at that position? Do you believe he could do a good job and be the explosive person we need at the special teams? Or do you believe he'll be minimal, just like Steven Sims and Gunnar Olszewski was for the Steelers last season? Let me know down in the comments below. Or if you want someone else to return punts and kicks like Anthony McFarland or someone else, let me know down in the comments below who do you want to return the punts and kicks as well. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you like Steelers content, analysis, and reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications down below for this channel as well, so you get notified whenever I post the next Steelers video. I covered all of Steelers free agency, all of their draft, all the new guys they've signed. So if you want to see all the new guys we picked up, there's introductions to them on the team. And just know every news, every rumor heading into OTAs. The final OTAs is done now. So heading into mandatory minicamp, heading over to the training camp, preseason, regular season, leading all the way back up into the draft. The cycle is going to repeat. I'm going to be covering it all. So like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.